Welcome to another Achieving Science video. This video is all about evolution. First of all, let's tackle what is meant by evolution. Well, evolution is the gradual change in the features or characteristics of a species. Well, why is this important? Well, if a living thing has features that help it to survive, then it will breed and it will be able to pass on its genes to its offspring. Therefore, if we look at a famous scientist, the famous scientist that we need to look at is Charles Darwin and his work. His work was around the Galapagos finches. So during Darwin's voyage on HMS Beagle, which is a big ship, he studied 13 different varieties of finches. He suggested that they must have descended from birds that have flown to the islands, or have been blown there from the main island. But what did he notice? First of all, he noticed the beaks. He found that some finches had thick beaks and were able to crush seeds as their main diet. Others had more slender beaks and were able to catch insects. So therefore, he then wondered about whether they could have evolved from the same ancestor. Now, the first step within answering a question, you form a hypothesis, and then you look at the evidence. Now, the evidence for this would have all come from fossils, because fossils are the only evidence that animals and plants lived ages ago. Now, what is a fossil? Well, a fossil is the remains of an organism from hundreds of thousands of years ago, which are found within rocks. At the time, Darwin didn't have access to these fossils, so his theory couldn't be proven at this point. Now let's just have a quick look at how fossils are formed. Now, fossils can be formed in the following ways. First of all, from the parts of organisms that do not decay because one or more of the conditions needed for decay is absent. The second method is when parts of the organisms are replaced by minerals as they do decay. And finally, they can be preserved as traces of the organism, such as footprints, burrows, or rootlet traces. Now, there is still a problem, because there is never a complete fossil record. So why is it incomplete? Well, the main reasons for it being incomplete is that these fossils are found underground within rocks, and during geological activities such as earthquakes and volcanoes, they become destroyed and therefore lost. So why are fossils useful? Well, from studying the similarities and difference between fossils in differently aged rocks, we can actually see that species has evolved over billions of years.